Okay, hello everyone. I'm going to be introducing Pepper Hugh. Pepper Hugh devoted herself to the insurance industry right after she graduated from Pepperdine Business School. She has been an insurance agent for 7 years and is currently operating a farmer's insurance agency. Pepper started her own agency by acquiring a retired agency in May 2020 during the most severe time of COVID. However, COVID did not slow her down. She doubled her book size in 1.5 years by helping 1,080 families with their insurance needs. In the most recent year-to-date report, Pepper's agency was ranking 3rd place in the Southern California area in over 2,200 farmers agencies. Pepper and her team are fast, accurate, and professional. Once you provide a contact of the client information in escrow, you can expect them to get that client info, prepare a home quote, present to the client, and get client's confirmation. They also send the approved quote to escrow and CC you and the client. All of the above works can be done within only 20 minutes. They will be sure to follow up with all the parties and keep everyone with insurance updated until the end of the escrow. All you need to do is just send a phone number and you will see everything done in 20 minutes. Pepper describes their quoting procedure as autopilot. Not only being a driver in quoting new business, Pepper and her team are very comprehensive on claim services. Her office handled 364 claims in 2021. Abundant claim experience can definitely bring a peace of mind to the customers when their house are in a condition of water damage or fire damage. Pepper is also a very active person in her free time. You may see her jump around different studios for hip hop dancing, or you may see her on a golf course. Sometimes you may meet her in the ocean for jet skiing, flyboarding, and fishing. Everyone, I'd like to welcome to you, Miss Pepper Hugh.
Hi, everybody. It's my honor to be here today. And I believe I have met many of you last week or 2 weeks before in the in-person event in Santa Monica. And it's great to see you guys again today to share some story about the claims that we have been experiencing and give you some idea how to provide a comprehensive advice to your customers when you're structuring the property investment to your customer. So let me share my screen right now. And let's get started. Okay, today we're going to share some story about the crazy car accident claims, water leakage claims, and how to deal with the wrong claims record when we're buying a house, and also the condo community claims. I want to let everybody know how important the HO6 policy is. So the first one. Many of you may be curious, why would I care about a car accident when we're dealing with homes? But because the car accident is the one can make our homes in danger. A small car accident can cause all of our property loss of control of ourselves. So let me ask you guys, how much you think a real accident can cost you? The answer is 10 million. This is a really extreme case from my client, but I got to share with you how this happened. I have a client is a really large company president. He has properties all over the USA. So the beauty of farmers is that we can do multi-state. We cover all of the states. So this client come to me, we buy their property insurance all the time when they purchase insurance all over the state. And then I give him an update every year. I'm telling him what's the value of the property right now, how much umbrella you should be carrying. Umbrella is a policy that on the top of your auto and home. Everything happens to your auto and home, the liability cannot be paid off through your auto and home insurance. The umbrella will kick in. So this client, his probably is definitely over 10 million. I told him the maximum is 10 million for umbrella, I should get one. But he was like, okay, no, I will stay with 5 million. I don't think this thing really work out. Let me give you a roughly price. If you have a 2 car, 1 house, and 2 drivers in the household, a 1 million umbrella policy only costs you $300 to $400 a year. $300 or $400 a year. That's a really cheap price. But this client, he has many houses. It's a 5 million umbrella. It's pretty costly. So he refused to increase the umbrella. And then there's an accident happen. He rolling a client, the other party in Las Vegas. And it's a small accident. We rolling other parties all the time. But the thing is, the other driver has a brain cancer already. So she was about to have a surgery for her brain. Because of the accident, the surgery has to push forward. And it was not a really ready operation, not really good surgery. The situation of the driver goes to worse and worse all over the months. And then they hired a lawyer. The family of the other driver come back to sue my client for 10 million. This was happening in 2020. So this 10 million was handed over this family for over 2 years already. Because when the lawyer involved in, then always sue us for the highest amount they can sue. All of us will know the property information is kind of public. They can search online, search my name to find out my property information. Even though we're putting LC, putting other structures, they still just take time to find out the information, but they can eventually find it out. So my client, they have exposure for 10 million property value of properties, and the other party find it out. They sue my client for 10 million in umbrella. And they were terrified. But the thing is, insurance company is not stupid, right? They have strong arms too. We're fighting for the client right now. It has been 2 years because we're thinking the brain cancer is the existing problem. It should be counting everything into my clients when the accident happened. But how to determine how much of the medical expense was arise from this accident is really hard to determine. But we're still fighting for them to lower down the limit we're going to pay for the other party. But this exposure is there. My client has a 10 million lawsuit on their hand for 2 years. This family is going through a divorcing right now. So see how a small accident can affect the family. So the reason I brought in this case here, just to share with you guys, we are buying properties for the customer all the time. We have many return customers that buy primary house and they buy investment. But when we're structuring their property investment, we want to recommend them for the umbrella policy, because this is a really, really efficient way and a cost-efficient way to protect your liability from being affected by a small accident. Because how many times we can have people fall in my house? Not many times, but how many times I can be involved in an accident? Many times. Accident really happening every day. One small accident can cost me 10 million to solve it. So my recommendation to all the realtors, you should bring up this to your customer. Show your profession. It's part of your professional knowledge. Tell them I'm protecting you. I'm not just selling a house. I'm really caring about your family. I'm helping you to buy a home, not just a house. The home, including everything, and protecting your safety and your asset safety is one of my job. So this is the reason I shared this story with you. To be honest, this claim has been hanging over my head all the time. If I have this large loss in my book, I'm going to be a record in farmers history. This is really scary. And then all of my rich clients, they're getting umbrella right now. Even though I'm not rich, I only have one house, I should get in the umbrella because umbrella is still $300 or $400, and we can facing a lawsuit for 1 million at least. So keep that in mind. Umbrella is important for all the property owners. It doesn't go to the next page. Okay, here's come to a water claim. This water claim is kind of funny. It happened, this picture video is not from my client, it's from my client's neighbor. They're in the same community because they're close to each other. They have a common wall and they have some shared water damage. My client got a really good payout, but his neighbor doesn't get a very good payout. This is a video that shared with me to ask my advice. So I want to show you guys how the damage is. Okay, this whole room is almost fell down. The ceiling is whole damage. This severe accident, see how much they got paid? They only got paid for 12K, 12,000. If any of you ever experiencing any claim, you will be able to know 12K is not even good enough to cover the dry out and then remove the debris. So this client, they paid additional $60,000 to fix the house out of pocket. And then Here's my client in the same community. Can you see some water fall from the ceiling? And they have some containers to hold the water. This little damage is much more easier than the fire one. But how much we pay? Here, we paid $71,000 for those little claims. And how much the premium difference compared to my insurance to the other insurance is $500 a year. When we're quoting them, $500 a year is a large amount when you see the premium difference. But when you see the claim difference, it's $60,000 difference. I'm calculating for this customer. So if you're paying $500 less when you go with other insurance company, and you're paying less $500 every year, you have to pay 100 years to get the $60,000 back. However, in the other way, if you purchase my insurance in a whole 100 year, you have this one claim, so one time, you will be earning all your premium difference back. But nobody can stay over 100 years and never have a claim, right? Everybody can have a claim over 100 years, but just one time, you are earning all the premium back. So we don't look at a policy only based on the premium. Every policy quote looks the same. Coverage A, B, C, D, E, F is the same. But how the coverage back to the real policy book is 80 pages. There are many different details. When there's the purpose for us to buy the insurance is because we want the claim to be paid out. But how does it pay out? How smooth it is? How much I'm getting? Is the difference for different insurance company. Insurance is really a thing, like you buy what you get. There's never insurance. I have a cheapest rate, but better coverage. There's we never have a company do that. If that's a thing, this company going to be the only one in the world because nobody can compete with them. Okay, so keep in mind, insurance, we just don't look at a quote. We look at what's in the back, especially in the claims. And I want to show you guys if my company will pay out about 12K claims, how the claim will be look like, right? Because the other claim, they have a 12K payout. This one, I have a 12K, like 11K payout too. This is smoke damage to the cabinet and to the wall, to the ceiling. Because to be honest, first of all, when I see these pictures, I was thinking, can we just wipe it out? Why would I need to submit a claim? I should just have a mop and wipe it out. It should be clean already. However, the client insists to submit a claim because they think their wall is really expensive and their cabinetry is expensive. See how much we pay. We pay for the cabinet and we pay for the countertop. We pay for the seal, door, window, everything. And the total payout is $11,000. Compared to the $11,000 to the other severe water damage and compared to this little damage to the house, we pay $11,000. This is how insurance companies service their customers. We care everything they care. Even they want to submit a claim, we just calculate everything and pay for them. This is the 11,000 claim looks like. Okay. And here's a little story about the wrong claims. I received a phone call one day a month ago. It's a listing agent called me, saying that Pepper, you're gonna help me because I'm going to sue by the buyer agent for a cash offer. I just a cash purchase the deal because they purchased a house in cash and they tried to find the insurance. And then they finally find out they cannot get insurance because there's a open claim shows on the house. You can see from the photo it's a 152,000. Okay, and then but listing agent said the buyer agent is challenging me that I didn't disclose this information to them, and they finally find out they cannot get insurance and they're not happy. They didn't know that. So when I run the record for the house is clean, means like the record should be on the buyer, and then I run the record with the buyer's name and then house together. I find out it's on the buyer has such a high open claim. And then we show the buyer, see, this is the record you have. You cannot blame the listing agent. And then when they look at the lost location, the buyer said, I never live in this address. I never live in Fontana. Okay, and then we call the company, which is called A+. We hold for 2 hours to catch someone to solve this problem. And then we find out the real person who had this claim has the same name of our client, but different birthday. So this insurance company is not really responsible. They report a claim to A plus without the correct information. So this claim go towards to the buyer. And then we submit a dispute form to A plus. We follow up for another 2 weeks. Finally, the claim is dissolved. It's disappear in client's record, and then we're able to buy this insurance for the client. As to be honest, it's only a 2,000 premium 2,000 premium case, and we earn about 200 a year. But we are willing to do this because we care the relationship between the listing agent and buyer agent. We want to solve the problem between them, have them go back to have a peace of mind, go back to the real estate market to focus on what they're doing. That's when we can get more referrals, right? We solve problem for everybody. We're not just earning a premium. So this is a problem solving. If they go to other agencies, they won't know there's a way to solve this problem. They will just tell you, hey, that's a small amount insurance. I earn nothing for it. Just stop there, go to others to shop, or have them buy California Fair Plan, because California Fair Plan is supposed to carry to absorb all the insurance if they cannot, all the buyers if they cannot buy insurance somewhere else. But California Fair Plan is double the price than what I'm offering right now. So we always think about the best way to the realtors and to the customers. And there's a claim, maybe many of you doesn't really experienced before, but it happens a lot in the east side. Starting 2020, a lot of people growing marijuana in large houses. So we have many houses that have been growing marijuana, especially in Riverside City and in San Bernardino City. This the client, they buy the house in March, and then they realize the house, as when the tenant moved out, they realized the house was growing marijuana everywhere. And then this is the first initial report in 11/1. Our inspection going there, check everything. And then we got everything paid out starting 11/10. It's only 10 days we're starting paying them for all the payments to fix the house. Marijuana is costly. It's $126,000 to fix the marijuana damage, because they have to tear down the drywall, refill the drywall. Everything has the marijuana smell there. It's and then they need to do the remediation, mediation, everything to fix. But this client's happy. They got insurance paid it out. They buy the house for a certain amount, and they pay nothing out of pocket to fix it. And then they sell it at the end of the year, last year. It's still a good market. They're earning money, but they're not spending anything. And we're repaying for $126,000. They remodel the whole house in a brand new, really, really good condition. And they sell the house in a really, really good price. You can see if we're having something rented out, sometimes the house condition is not really perfect, because we're rented out that the tenants may not really taking care of the house. And then I rented out because I didn't really pay much attention to decorate it. However, when they remodel the house, they make it look like a really nice primary home, and they sell it in a really good price. This client is happy, the realtor is happy, because we're the parties support them in every situation. And there's Farmers is one only company pay for marijuana damage in the market right now. If you put a word marijuana, we pay it without any second question. But other companies, they will decline you if they see the marijuana. Okay, this one is about a condo community. Many of our clients, even agents, they get confused. So in what situation I need to buy a condo insurance? Because a condo has HOA, right? The reason that we're paying HOA because the HOA is buying insurance for us. Because HOA, they buy the whole structure for all the houses, because each house, they have a common wall, common stuff. If they buy insurance separately, it's hard to determine when there's a claim who is going to pay for it. That's why HOA said, okay, I buy insurance for the whole main structure, and you guys just buy your only owner coverage, which is HO6. The only owner coverage only cover the wall paint, the floor coverage, and your personal property, which is the furnitures, cabinets, computers, jewelry, and you cover the liability whenever you have someone visit your house and they got injured. This is the reason that we have to buy HO6 policy. However, there are many HOA policies, they buy walls in coverage. Walls in coverage means like I cover the structure and the wall and the floor. That calls walls in coverage. So in this case, when you're having a loan bank will not come back to ask the unit owner to buy a HO6 policy, because they feel like the master policy from HOA is good enough to cover everything. However, there's a really interesting claim. One of my clients in a condo community, they know the HOA has a wasn't coverage, so they didn't buy anything. And that client is a loan banker. So he understands the rules. He feel like I don't have to buy any HO6 policy. However, there's a water damage happened on the ceiling of the garage, and then the water go all the way to the wall, and the water pipe also leaking in the wall. It's everything damaged in the garage. We all know how our garage looks like, right? It's full of stuff. We have a shelf, we have a cabinet, we have everything the stuff in the garage, and then we'll put furniture, something we don't like, we don't want stuff stuck in the garage. So when they try to fix the water pipe, they have to pull out the furnitures and some stuffs and tear down the cabinet, open the wall, fix the pipe, and close the wall, and put back the cabinet and put back the garage. Opening the wall, fix the pipe and close the wall, and put the pin back to the original level. Is covered by the HO policy because it's a wasn't coverage, right? However, the funny thing is the cost of removing the furniture, tear down the cabinet, put down the cabinet, and put back the furniture. Those $1,000 cost is not covered by the HOA policy because that is our client's personal stuff. Personal stuff only covered by the unit owner HO6 policy. So this client have to pay out of pocket for $1,000 to just for moving around furniture and the cabinet. How much a HO6 policy may cost? It's only cost you for $400 or $500 a year. But this client, they pay $1,000 for this little water damage. So my point for sharing the story is like, there's not an insurance that is useless. The insurance is there created for a reason. So yeah, there's a condo community, they recommend you to have a HO6 policy. You may not just decline it. You may ask for why, and we will share you the story why you need to keep it. So in the event of this type of water damage, you know every part of the claim is covered. We don't have to pay out of pocket for anything. Last but not least, I have been promoting myself, the service I can provide to all the realtors. It's like checking loss history. Before the house going to the escrow, you can give me the address and then we can check the record for you. So you have a better idea even before going to the escrow. You don't have to wait until the listing agent give you the disclosure. However, this realtor doesn't listen to me. Hey, let me check the record after they go into the escrow. See how many records this house has. It's about 7 records in the past 3 years. No insurance company is going to accept this house. And that's not the thing. Insurance is the minimal part. The biggest problem is the buyer is not happy. I'm buying a house for 7 claims. What happened to these claims? And it's a really new house. What happened to this house? I feel dangerous. I don't want to live in there and facing all this headache. So they cancel the deal. Before they cancel this deal, they have me submit offer for 7 times already. And this is the very first time they got into escrow. See how frustrated the realtor is. But they tell me, Pepper, help me. I said, I can help you get insurance, but I cannot help you retain the client. You should come to me in the first place. I'll let you know the loss history. If the client is not happy with the loss history, you probably move them to other houses. You don't spend that much time on it. So this is the beauty of insurance. We know the records. We help you before the escrow, in escrow, even after escrow. So everything. I believe all the realtor agents, you work with escrows, you work with loan agents, but all those parties, they only stay with you for one time in one transaction. If this transaction is gone, is closed, your work for this transaction is done. But for insurance, I work with you, check loss history before escrow. During the escrow, I quote for you. I follow up the status for the whole process. Make sure your clients will not be blocked by insurance when they're buying a house. And after escrow close, our partnership is just started. I'll help clients provide claim services. And all the referrals is documented clearly in my system. I know who referred this client. If they ever mention they have a property investment needs, I will know where to refer them back. So we maintain a client for you. So having an insurance as one of your trusted partner is really important. Before escrow, in escrow, and then post escrow. We're actually the only party work with you forever, all the time, having returning clients back. Okay, that's pretty much all done today. That's all my sharing infos.
Great. Thank you so much for that amazing presentation. And I think every time that we meet with you, we hear you, and I think you're always giving us some inside scoop. I think so often of us, right? We all have insurance. We have car insurance. We have home insurance. We may have renter insurance, but we never know what's in the background of what you guys go through and the difference between a good insurance agent versus an agent you just call from a yellow page, right? And I think just knowing, I think over the last many months that we had the opportunity of just hearing from you really gave us an insight on knowing how to pick a good insurance agent versus not, and a full service agent from just an average agent. I can personally tell you that I called your office actually not too long ago to get some insurance quote for some auto insurance, and I had great service from your staff. So they were friendly, they were warm. So I applaud you for the business that you ran. So now I know there's many of you probably have individual cases or may have questions. I also like to recognize we have a few people with us. We also have Mary, who's our director of events, that is also on the call with us. And I also wanted to recognize Laura, who's a past president of Santa Clara County, which is up north, joining us from up north. That's here with us as well. And now I will turn it over to Marissa, our director of membership, to conduct some Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, please do put in the chat or raise your virtual hand, because we love what Who Agency is about, full service wraparound. You never have to worry about anything. Once you sign up, you or your client signed up, then you just, any problem, you just give it to them. They will file claims for you and everything. So, you know, they're definitely becoming my go-to for insurance, and I've learned so much. So I see there's some chat. So I will turn it over to Marissa.
And does anybody have any questions for Ms. Pepper? You can go ahead and unmute and ask your question. Hearing no questions. Does anybody have any questions for Pepper in her presentation? Okay, well then I'll turn it back over to you, Miss Cindy. I don't hear any questions at this time, unless Pepper, do you have any questions that you commonly get that you would like to answer for the group when it comes to real estate and insurance?
I'm not sure if she's frozen.
I think so.
Seems frozen. Okay. She may be frozen. If she is, we'll wait for her to come back in a little bit. If not, we usually do a networking session, because we want to know where are you zooming in from. We already heard from Laura. She put in the chat. She also joined as a member. And yes, the question was, the presentation be available? So all of our calls, for those of you that signed up via Zoom register, we usually send out a follow-up email with the link to our recorded session, so that way you can share. And also someone asked Pepper's info. So maybe Mary can put in the chat in there as well. So I think we lost her. So let's start. I'm going to, okay, here she is. So I am going to stop recording, both on our recording and also on our Facebook Live as well. Hi, Pepper, welcome back.
Sorry, my computer was like having problem.
That's okay. And so we want to hear where everyone is from. So we're going to do something of a popcorn. And since yesterday was this election, so I would love to start the topic of, you know, whether you voted or how do you feel about the whole election. But let's not get super political, but just in general about election. But, you know, we'll be flexible as long as it's a friendly environment.
Yeah, the election was like our Asian community really involved,